Good morning everyone. In our today's video, we are going to discuss the second part of lesson number 5 of our history, When People Rebel, 1857 and after. In our previous video, we already discussed what was the immediate cause of the revolt of 1857, how it spread. It started from Meerut, it reached Delhi, and after that it spread all over the country. Now, in this video, we shall be discussing, or we shall be dealing with only 2 points. One point is the company fights back. In the previous video, we discussed about how the Indians fought against the British. Now, in this video, we shall be discussing what was the actions taken by the British to suppress the revolt. And the second point that we shall discuss in this video is aftermath. Aftermath means what were the changes made after the revolt of the 1857. So let's discuss the first point. Well, the company fights back. To repress the rebellion, the company brought armed forces from England. First of all, when the revolt of 1857 started, the British never expected that. But later on, when they saw that the rebellion people, they were fighting against the British, they were destroying the British camps, British garrisons, they were killing the British soldiers, and that's why finally the British, or the East India Company, they brought extra forces from England. Even they passed new laws. Why they passed? The new laws were passed so that they can convict the rebellion people and they could easily arrest them, and then moved into the storm centers of the revolt. The storm center means the main center of the revolt, like we can say Delhi, Meerut. Those were the main centers of the revolt of 1857. So the British, with extra forces, with new laws, they reached to the main centers of the revolt. Delhi was recaptured in September 1857. The rebellious people, they captured Delhi, but again Delhi was recaptured by the British in the year of same year, in the month of September. Delhi was recaptured. Bahadur Shah Jafar was sentenced to life imprisonment. Bahadur Shah Jafar, who was the last powerful Mughal ruler, and the revolt was mainly going on under the leadership of Bahadur Shah Jafar. He was arrested and he was sent to jail for lifetime. He and his wife Begum Jinnat Mahal, she was the wife of Bahadur Shah Jafar. So Bahadur Shah Jafar along with his wife were sent to prison in Rangoon in October 1858. In the year of 1858, Bahadur Shah Jafar and his wife, they were captured, they were arrested, and they were sent to jail in October 1858. There he died in November 1862. Bahadur Shah Jafar, he died in the Rangoon jail in the year of 1862 in the month of November. After capturing Delhi and after the death, after sending Bahadur Shah Jafar to the jail, Lucknow was taken in March 1858. We already got Lucknow. It was under Birji Squadr. He was the Nawab of Lucknow. He was defeated, and in the year of 1858, in the month of March, Lucknow was also taken over by the British. Rani Lakshmibai was defeated and killed in June 1858. Rani Lakshmibai of Jhansi, she was defeated and she was killed in the year of 1858, same year, in the month of June, and Jhansi also was taken over by the British. Tatya Tope was captured and killed in April 1859. After 1 year, in the year of 1859, in the month of April, Tatya Tope, he was also captured and he was killed. The British also tried to win the loyalty of the people. See, this much time we have discussed that the British, with more soldiers or more army, more forces, they fought against the Indians and they recaptured different places, like they recaptured Delhi, they recaptured Lucknow, they recaptured Jhansi and some other places. And not only this, the British, they also tried to win the loyalty of the people, because we know that if we cannot win the loyalty of the people, if we cannot win the faith of the people, it is not possible to rule. And that's why the British, they also wanted, or they tried their best to win the loyalty of the people. How it is, I'll explain you. The British declared that those who had rebelled were told that if they submitted to the British and if they had not killed any white people, they would remain safe and their rights to land would not be denied. What they did? The British declared that now the revolt of 1857, it was totally under the control of the British. Now the British, they declared that if the rebels, the rebellion people, they were told that if they submitted to the British, if they submitted means if they surrender to the British, and in case if they had not killed any white people, or white people means we can say the British, if they surrender to the British and if they had not killed any white people, they would remain safe, means they would not be given any type of punishment. And this policy was taken by the British only to win the loyalty of the people, and even they were assured that their rights to land would not be denied, means their land would not be taken by the British. Thus the British put an end to the revolt of 1857, and in this way we can say the revolt of 1857 was crushed by the British government. Alright, now we are moving towards the last part of this chapter as well as this video. Aftermath. Aftermath means after the revolt of 1857. The British had regained control of the country by the end of 1859. The revolt of 1857, it was started in the year of 1857, but within the end of the year 1859, the British, they were again able to regain the control of the entire country. But no doubt they were able to regain control, but they also understood that they could not continue to rule the country with the existing rules or the policies. And that's why they made some changes in the policies. What were the changes made? Here I have taken few points. Let's study one by one. The first point, the British Parliament passed a new act in the year of 1858 and transferred the power of the East India Company to the British Crown. See, before the revolt of 1857, all the power, administrative power, financial power, all these powers were there in the hand of the East India Company. But after the revolt of 1857, in the next year, in 1858, the power of the East India Company, it was transferred directly to the British Crown. That means now the East India Company, they would be only the traders, but the British Crown or the British Parliament would rule our country through their representatives. The Governor General of India was given the title of Viceroy. See, do not be confused. Governor General and Viceroy, both are same. Before the revolt of 1857, when the East India Company was ruling our country directly, at that time the head of the British government was known as the Governor General. But now, when the power of the East India Company was transferred to the British Crown, now the Governor General came to be known as the Viceroy. We can say Viceroy means a personal representative of the Crown or the British Parliament. So that was the first change. I hope you have understood. In simple sense, we can say the power of the East India Company was given directly to the British Parliament. The second point that we are going to discuss, all ruling chiefs of the country were assured that their territory would never be annexed in future. That means before the revolt of 1857, the territory or the property or the land of the local rulers were annexed or were taken by the British. But now the British, they promised that their land or property would not be taken over. Not only this, they were allowed to pass on their kingdoms to their heirs, including adopted sons. As we already got earlier, that Rani Lakshmibai, she wanted her adopted son to be the next ruler, which were refused by the company. But now the British government, they declared that if any Indian ruler wanted their heirs to be the owner of their kingdom, and even they could pass to their adopted. So they could pass it to their adopted sons. That was the second reform. Now the third point that we are going to study, it was decided that the proportion of Indian soldiers in the army would be reduced and the number of European soldiers would be increased. Means before the revolt of 1857, in the British army, the number of Indian soldiers were more and the European soldiers were less. But now they decided that the number of Indian soldiers will be less and the number of European soldiers would be more. That was the third change which was brought by the British after the revolt of 1857. Next one is the land and property of the Muslims was taken on a large scale and they were treated with suspicion. No doubt the British, they made several reforms. They gave much freedom to the Hindu landlords, Hindu rulers, zamindars, but the Muslims, they were treated as suspicion. They were looked up as suspicion because the British, they believed that it was only the Muslims because of whom the revolt of 1857 was created, and that's why a major portion of their land as well as property was taken over by the British. The fifth one, the British decided to respect the customary religious and social practices of the Indians. Before the revolt of 1857, the British, they criticized about our different religious practices or social practices, but now the British, they decided not to interfere or to respect our religious system as well as our social practices. Means they would not interfere into the religious as well as social matters of the land or of the country. The last point that I have taken here is policies were made to protect landlords and zamindars. Before the revolt of 1857, the landlords and the zamindars, they were tortured. They were not given any freedom, any power, but now different policies were made to protect them or to provide them security, and even they were given security of rights over their lands. Means their lands would never be annexed. So these were the different changes, or these were the different reforms which were introduced by the British after the revolt of 1857, and thus a new phase of history began after 1857. We can say the revolt of 1857 is regarded as one of the most important revolt in our country because it was the first major victory which was won by the British in India. Anyways, I hope you have understood the chapter. In this video, we have dealt with only 2 points. What was the reaction of the British to suppress the revolt of 1857, and what were the different reforms or the changes which were brought by the British after the revolt of 1857. Go through the video. If any doubt is there, please clear it from me, and even you need to read the chapter. You need to underline the important points, and if any kind of doubt is there, please get it cleared. Thank you very much.